Just got nervous. Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Just Two Moms Chatting with Three Moms Chatting. We are here with Sabrina Wallace. Really honored and thrilled to have her on to just chat as moms, friends, humans, and no agenda. We don't have questions written, so we're just going to kind of jump in and chat. So, Dawn, you want to start with anything? And I'm going to stop trying to be a podcaster.
It's natural, Jill. You
I'm
can't.
just Jill always goes into like podcast mode. She gets us back on track because otherwise we would be willy-nilly all the time.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, go ahead.
Someone's got to be the one that keeps us.
Yeah. I guess so. No, I know. The thing is, the habit to like just start interviewing and start like with Kim, I noticed myself doing that a lot, like just wanting to ask her questions and not really kind of having the mutual chat. So just give me a little bump if I start over interviewing Dawn.
I'm just so excited that we get to talk to Sabrina Wallace. Like I've been posting your videos for almost 3 years now. I never ever thought you would even know who I was. And this is just incredible to get to talk to you.
So when we started this off, because there's backstage, y'all. And hello, Rumble Channel. I see, hey, you girl. I see Shell. Oh, Shell, thank you. That's my friend, my real friend. All my real friends, but friend in real life. That's what I meant to say. Clarity is here. She sings parodies. There's Sal, always in the lives. Anyway, so backstage, I'm like, oh, Dawn, it's so nice to meet you. I'm so excited. Dawn is an inspiration to me because she stuck it out on the Facebook, and Facebook has very harsh algorithms because they're really old, and the people on Facebook are very tribalized, so they're very triggered a lot because when you tribalize, you polarize, and then anything outside that very polarized space is like, blah, blah, blah. And then there's the engagement farming, which you make money on yelling at people in the comments. So I called Dawn the Facebook warrior. And then I saw Jill with going all in and this incredible wisdom about these theosophy, anthroposophy style philosophical discussions. And I'm going, whoa, who is that? And like, oh, that's the same lady. And then they showed up in the chat and I went, oh, hello, I'm so thankful. Thank you so much for helping people in your own areas because I can't be in all places at once because I don't want to. I like to keep things a little more focused than this huge spread yourself out on every platform. Whoa, hold up, pump the brakes. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dawn. You're the one that inspires me because I see you on the Facebook on occasion, not all the time, helping people, answering questions. And now there's more on the Facebook who are sharing diagrams and just quick things, kind of like Corinne. And it's not getting taken down. It's getting shared around because, like Corinne, it's just a diagram and a paper.
Yes.
And that is the key because that's the same terminology. And Jill, with you, I was nervous and I went, oh, she's a professional podcaster. So I'm really delighted to be here. I have been excited to see all the feedback from your previous episodes, like we were talking about with Kelly and other ladies and gentlemen who have different perspectives on being a parent during this time period. And I'm just going to apologize once and now for my frog voice. Last night, my voice started to go, ooh, so I'm a little squeaky. Apologies.
Sounds good on you.
Thank you.
It's sultry.
Yeah.
I have to drop down in my register and start talking to everybody like Merle Haggard.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here too. My background or whatever, not my background, but I was listening to a lot of Allison McDowell, and she would talk about you sometimes. And so then I'd go over and I'd listen to you, and it just sparked something inside me, but I wasn't quite ready to jump in. I think it took me a little while, but you stood out in my mind, and then I started listening to the SRA stuff with Emma, the Imagination podcast, and I was just blown away. And then I heard that that was some of that was your background, and you kind of brought it all together and helped me. That was the first thing, helped me understand this thing that's happening in our world that is so horrid, that there actually is reasons why, and the structure behind that whole thing. So so then I was all in with you, Sabrina. So I mean, and I think you continue to point us back to ourselves. I think that's a huge thing for me too. Yeah.
I want to answer about the McDowell. I call her Mickey Mouse McDowell because of all the people that were snarly woo, Allison was more like, we're talking about this, and it's true. She went through the consensus, the contracts, like all the bits and pieces of the blockchain. And I don't know now, but some people say this is alleged, but any time after 2017, if you were writing letters, you were burning trees, wasting trees, sending emails, no. So somebody said that she was encouraging people to send people emails, and that frustrated me because I said, you're connected to the cloud. And they're like, no, this isn't here yet. And that's when I found some of her presentations in 2021 in New York. And she was saying everything we talk about, but then she would follow it up with specific verbiage. It's a plan. It's an agenda. It's alleged. They're working on it. Those types of verbs tell a human being, it's not here yet. You have time. They don't have it. Just relax. You're going to write a letter. Or if that was alleged, you're going to learn and somebody else is going to take care of it. It ain't going to happen. It's just a plan. It's alleged. Okay. And so I'm going, how are you knowing about the W-band blockchain, but you're telling people it's not here? Like, what's going on? But, big old but, what you said, Jill, about you need to trust yourself. You don't need me. You need you. Other people would go watch her and learn about that and then go, oh. And then when they came back to me, they completely understood why I had no bullshit running, which is, I don't want to hear these excuses and no. If it's good enough for the Cambridge and an 18-year-old coming out of high school, enough. That means we can all use the same terminology and admit industry and market share. And that, I think, really helped because I didn't tell people, don't listen to this person and don't listen to that person. I went directly at the data that was being misrepresented to help. And then I said, watch whoever you want, whoever makes sense to you, so that you can figure it out for you. And the other component with Imagination Podcast, which is Emma, I think, she does a great job. There's a couple different channels now that interview SRA survivors, SA survivors, trafficking survivors, and it's huge. And I always say, where are the customers? Oh, we're going to arrest like 2 people. Where are their customers? Well, I no idea. I don't know, and that glut is how I figured out by mean, median, and mode. There's an engineered system here. This isn't just as simple as some criminals got together. Oh, no, there's something else entirely. But as most people know who watched me, what kicked it off for me was going to the post office. And when they said 6G from my background, when I worked for Charter, and then in 2013, getting the Cisco security book, I was like, because they changed the way things routed so that you could pay to be in the top of the routing table. And what that means is that whoever pays the most is the search you see first versus natural searches that used to work. That's back in 2013. Anyways, so putting those things together, when I showed up online, I really didn't think I'd be there long. And I thought either the Marines or somebody was going to tell people, because it's also how the drones hunt your bones. Because if it was a wearable, you could take it off. If it was looking for your phone, put your phone in a Faraday bag or leave your phone at your brother's house, like whatever. However, my heartbreak with the SRA community, and I'm not on a tear, ladies, I promise, but this is important because I support Emma at the Imagination Podcast. What I do not support is how they've weaponized the dog whistle phrase MK Ultra. Everything is MK Ultra. Everything's that. And that's been used, weaponized to turn people's ears off because
Yes.
they've already been down that rabbit hole. They've already heard it over and over, and nobody does anything, and nobody can. So I said, stop using that term. It's called the Wireless Body Area Network. That is visible. It's your new healthcare, and it's connected to your Bitcoin. That way you are not arguing. You're communicating. There's a huge difference. And what I had to do before I came online by 2 years, what I had to do was after I went to the post office and then the weird ass hospital trip, I realized they were watching. Who's they? The military. I had to figure that out. So instead of, because I'd been called crazy lifelong, so I just never told anybody anything after high school. I'm like, whatever, man. Keep your crazy. I'll be over here doing the dishes, raising my children, homeschooling. But I wrote
Yeah.
everything down. And there it was, the machine learning and its vibration. And I've grown up with my biofield. I never told myself, even though they told me I was stupid, I knew what I was hearing with my neurology, not waggle finger time. It's this religion. It's through this lens. You can only talk about this. Nah, man, that physiological, like, like a big old bass in the
Yeah.
subwoofer. Okay. So I was my teenagers under 18 at home, 2 girls. And I'm hearing all this code and I'm going, where is that coming? That's not even possible. Like, what is that? And then I find out 15 years they've been going to hotels and university programs to become human 2.0. And I'm like, oh, so you were testing on those of us who had the right genetics
Yep.
for biofield concurrence with machines. That's right. And so then I went back and I realized, oh, my parents were involved with special access projects. Oh, that's a clearance allocation, a really big one for physical objects like the SR-71. Before you knew about it, they had it for 30 years. And then because I went through old records, that I had to go into, ain't no big thing. It's just, Aunt Vin, when I was 18, here, honey, here's your family tree. Oh, thank you. Happy graduation. Never looked at it, never thought nothing of it. But when I saw Bauer and everybody else online was all 13 families, whatever, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm like, when I said Bauer Rothschild, oh shit. And that's when I saw all the different family members and everybody else out there. They're like,
Wow.
oh, he's a Rothschild. I'm like, hey, I was born for destructive testing. There's a difference. It's actually allocated in the special access projects because the special access projects are for objects. I'm not an object, but to their system, I am, because I'm nothing more than destructive testing, because they could not get my genetics to do clicky with accuracy, precision, what they wanted to. So then they destroy you to improve the system on other assets. Then I found all that too. It's just engineering. So that's when I realized this is all based on omics. That's eugenics.
Mhm.
And that means my daughters. And that's what she was dreaming. Out of the mouth, asset ID tag, matrix CID. And she's like, Mom, what the hell is that? And I said,
Oh
nothing.
boy.
It'll be fine. She was 15. Who are you going to call? Yeah. So that's why I hit the books. And I was just, anything I could find, free webinars, a lot of the stuff like non-vaxxer posts on his non-vaxxer 420 library on Rumble. That's where I was because it's free. These are conferences. These are jobs. And so when I showed up think like that for 2 years, and I thought, oh yeah, it'll be no big deal. Just like, hey, these are projects you should probably tell people because it's drone warfare. And oh my word, was I not prepared for what happened next. My children, since then, they're friends online. They get nervous. They can talk to my children because, of course, I taught my children cranial nerves, neurology, a lot of things in school. So they were less afraid when people would say AI, machine learning, But I never wanted to be in this position is true. I just want to teach about the biofields all my life. I never wanted to be going, college textbook, quit telling people the end of the world is nigh, or Where's the little green men? Where's the little green men?
Oh my God. I bet. What a mission. I mean, just to know that, like, to understand it and make those connections, and then to feel that we need to know. I mean, and to step out and do that. I'm so grateful, because it
But
really, the light bulbs
sorry.
went on. Yeah, go ahead. Interrupt me.
The going
Totally
all
fine.
in guy. That's I was
Yeah.
going to say, when it comes to SRA transducing your experience, because you are not your past. You are what you've done with your past today. Okay. And your John going all in guy, he's always sharing wisdom on the
I think
X.
it's Adam, but
Yeah.
Oh, he's phenomenal. But what I find, or I found for me right away in therapy years ago, 7 years in Vegas, etc., was that I didn't want to be locked in the past because I had babies, I had toddlers, I didn't have time for that. So I had to work through it. And your trauma is your own. Nobody's going to care about your trauma like you. So then you take it and you do something with it. And then you have to admit that adversity is an incredible teacher,
oh,
not
man.
just for survival. Think about it. Creativity. How are you surviving? You better be industrious, thinking on the fly, and you better be agile minded, like not locked into a paradigm, or you ain't going to make it. Right. And it's cruel, but that's survival. So I adapted all of that years ago in order to be present for my children, trying to stop the cycle of abuse, which I would say I got half and half, because I managed to keep my children from the pedophiles, but legally, by the way. However, I was unable, obviously, to do much about where society is driving, right? Um, so that's the mom part. Maybe we'll talk about a little bit later. But my point is that with SRA, um, all the different specific abuse for these systems, you can either take it and do something with it, knowing that you were targeted, whether by AI, people, or whatever, because you're already cellularly that strong. They have to tear you down. That ain't a maybe. That's physiological. And that, when I realized, that's why every time through my life, because I've been teaching about the biofield for a long time, synergy.com is me in 2000. You can look it up. It's always been me. And I had an office and
Wow.
all these things. But anytime I try, here they come. You're crazy. And all their cults and weirdness. And I'm like, dude, it's anatomy. My religion, my magic book, my spell casting. I'm like, okay, well, you can do whatever you want when you leave the group, because I just had a little meditation group where everybody was welcome, because every human's electrical. But every time I went that direction, it was always more weirdness. That's when I had found the embedded clearances, because I saw my parents' jobs, I saw what they were testing, and I'm like, that's why you've always been at me, because the secret, whether the jobs, the cults, the religions, it's the biofield. Because the moment you know it's your own biosignals, your own heartbeat and stuff, you can change things. And that's Dr. Persinger's measurements of how you push on all these sensors. They're dumping all this money into running and remote, etc. You are like a big old bull through the water going, hey, it's my life experience. Come on, water molecules, air molecules, move, get out the way. I'm having my life experience. And the plasma and the air around us isn't empty. It's thicker than you think. And those with the Dr. Persinger effect, like myself, it's measurable. Just like I show piloerection, just like when you get into the arena with a bull and that animal could kick you and kill you, major injuries, because it's a big, heavy bull or a horse. And therefore, you will mind your manners. In the same way, biofield concurrence is mammalian. So for me, I come into the room or I'll, yeah, let's have fun. And it's projection of my field with biofield ethics and concurrence. These are very real terminologies that they worked out in the 1960s with Dr. Becker's work. So all this time, I've been trying to teach biofield practice and work with the biofield to anybody. Boy, did that piss them off. And that's what earned me all the medical crazy I survived as well. So full circle, if it's SRA, MK Ultra, any of this stuff, that's to make it easier to log into you, because they're doing neurological damage to your blood, bone, and tissue. It's not, and I understand the rest of it, you can figure it out then from your own experience, like what you were experiencing for yourself, epigenetics. But I decided that this whole victim mentality had gotten so pervasive culturally that I no longer had a place in the world to communicate because I was expected to come forth as a victim. And I said, no. And that's the other thing, boundaries immediately. How dare you? You have to. And then it just goes insane. And I'm like, this is my boundary. I said, no, but I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to draw on a sign. I'm going to sing with people. That wasn't good enough. I thought other professionals who were doing the jobs would step up and be like, no big thing. We're logging in. It's the way of the future. Because they would talk about it like it was the best
Yeah.
thing ever. And instead, they harassed the people that were watching me the first year really nasty, really, really bad. That's why Dawn is a warrior. And you too, Jill. And I didn't understand. I'm like, but that's my daughters are 20 and 21. If they were in college right now, this is what we're looking at. What is going on? Oh, and then it's too scary for the adults. And I'm going, wait a minute. Oh, hang on. So now reading is illegal. Reading is too frightening, but it's okay to read really inappropriate things. Have you seen the
Yeah.
adults, waggle finger time? And I'm going, so wait, if I were to read those really inappropriate things, then I'm on the book talk and everybody's yay. But if I'm reading what you're going to college for, it's how dare you? You're crazy. Over and over and over. So my contribution, unlike Emma at Imagination Podcast, who has, in my opinion, an equally important, her place is about giving that healing space and letting people say it out loud. That's important. Once you say it out loud and whatever processing that is appropriate for you, I hope you choose to be a survivor. I learned that reading the books, The Courage to Heal, back in 1999. Those were the books I used, along with Alice Walker, I think is who it is. She was a German psychiatrist out of the 50s and 60s, wrote a book about the body never lies. Water retains memory, all that kind of stuff. So for me, I will tell all of you out there who have survived, you're already a survivor. You're stronger than you realize. And everybody is targeted because it's your new healthcare 4.0, or you're using your wallets with your area network. And that means that whoever you are with that strength, Dr. Persinger style, you're on the front lines for triage, healing, and very real protection in electronic warfare, or what they call it, NATO, and here in the States, cognitive warfare. That's neurons, not bullshitting you to death with what you read on the internet. Not the same thing, because your body's electrical. And I decided I'd had enough. And so I went to straight white papers. We had a professor write us a terminology book. And ever since then, it seems like it's getting better because of ladies like y'all and Kelly, the lady you showed. And, they're able to communicate now because they're like,
Yeah.
can we just talk about this like adults? Come on. You guys do it all the time at the MIT.
Yeah. Thank you for that. For talking that through. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And it really helped me connect the dots too. Yeah. So Dawn, what you got?
I want to share a story with Sabrina about this. They kept trying to get me to Spectrum. Spectrum kept calling my house like every day, trying to get me to sign up for their new wireless system they were doing for the cable and stuff. And I didn't want to do it because I had been watching you and I knew about the wireless and how bad it was. And their new modem is the wireless, and you set it up yourself. The technician doesn't even come to the house anymore. They send you the stuff, you set it up. So I already know where that's going. So I'm fighting them. I'm like, no, I don't want this. And they're like calling me, and I can't understand why they.
Uh-oh, freezing up a little.
Oh, there we go. So all of a sudden, this guy shows up at my house. I see everyone.
Dawn, you left the stage. Let's see. Try going out and come back in.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Of course, right when you're telling the story.
Wait.
I know, right?
I know.
She said she didn't want that cable modem. Blackout screen.
You're down. Do you want me to take you out and come back in?
Yeah. Can you take me out?
Yep. You got the link.
Because Spectrum can't take her out.
That's right. Yeah. Oh man, I have momentum of the story, and that freaking crap happens. I hate it, but we'll keep chatting. Let me see if she's coming back.
Happens all the
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
I know.
We're
I
just
know.
making jokes, folks. For those of you that think they're being paranoid, you need to loosen up a little bit. We make a lot of jokes on the channel. Yes, that is the connectivity, but that's not what's going on. It's just a
Am
hiccup.
I
They happen
back?
all the time.
Yep, you're
You're
back.
back.
Okay. Okay.
Let me add you to the. Yeah, there you are. Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Hey,
All
11
right.
star.
All right. So this guy shows up at my house one day, like out of the blue, and he says he's from Spectrum, and he just wanted to make sure that I was going to, like, I was not so scared of this equipment because he heard that I was giving them a problem with this, which I thought was really weird because I'm like, that's who does that? He said, I just happened to be driving by your house and I figured I'd
Oh,
stop in. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Okay, that's weird. But anyways, he's I'm like, he wants to know why I am resisting. And I said, okay, you're gonna think I'm a weirdo, but I gotta go get my phone and I gotta show you this lady. So I go
oh
get my
no.
phone and I start showing him your videos. I'm like, it's this because this. But I'm telling you, Sabrina, he already knew who you were. Like he already knew who you were.
What?
And he already knew who you were, and he was, I don't know why or what, but he came here and he already knew. And I don't know, it was weird. He asked for my phone number and he was very interested in you. And yes, he was very
Wow.
interested in you. And he ended up texting me for several days later talking about you and how interesting you were. But anyways, when he was here, he was telling me that, oh, we have well beyond the 6G, 7G, 8G. He goes, I'm out installing the 10G, 11G, and we're going out in the middle of nowhere where there's not even people living, and we're putting this everywhere. So I don't know.
Oh
He was
man.
creepy, but he knew who you were. And I don't know what
Wow.
went on. I don't know what went on with there. But I sent after I showed him all this stuff with you and kept telling him, this is why I won't use your equipment. He kept telling me I needed to use the equipment. He's like, please just try it. Please just set it up. And I was like, no way, dude. I took that whole box and dropped it back off at the UPS store. I was like, no way, man. But I don't know. Like I said, Sabrina, lots of weird stuff surrounding you and people that know about you are looking for you. I don't know.
That's wild. Wow.
Yes, very wild. But he had the weirdest eyes. And like I said, he knew about you. And when he texted me several days later, he just kept saying how interesting you were. And he's like, I really want to keep in touch with you. And I was like, block that number. Block. Why did I give him my number?
Hey, Dawn. Given that we're in the wide open public, let's tell them how often we've actually gotten to speak to each other.
Never. This is the first time I've ever spoke to you. People come to me all the time. Can you get me to Sabrina? I'm like, I can't even get to Sabrina.
That's right.
So there you go. You heard it here.
What do you mean link me to? I can't. I don't talk to Sabrina.
Yeah. There's no
Nobody
secret.
does.
I know they think that like there's some secret something, and
Yeah, they find out the hard way every time. It's called the firewall. That's my husband. I don't own a cell phone. So you hit the second firewall, which is my caregiver. He has a red phone, and like less than this many people know what that is. Really. And then if I go off the Telegram, you ain't gonna find me because I shut off just about everything. And then I just
Wow.
welcome to a word that they don't like. Ready? Say it with me. No.
no,
No.
they do. I learned really early on that they were going after you. Like everybody wanted Sabrina Wallace, and they were desperate, and they'd be in my comments, please, Dawn, please link me to Sabrina. You have to get Sabrina to come on my podcast. I'm like, dude, what do you think
Yeah.
I am? I don't have any control over
Hey,
Sabrina Wallace.
waggle finger time. Dawn, if you're going to do all that work, you better be getting a check for management, public relations. You know what I'm saying? Marketing. Dude, just pick a title. We'll make a shirt. We'll make a mug. And not to jump off topic here, because I know why you're in this lane, and I appreciate the fact that we kind of curved over here for a minute. For all
Yeah.
the people that, because I haven't charged a dime for public education on the daily for 3 years, all free. It's right there. You don't need me. You need you. Maybe your reading glasses a time or two. And so for over a year, some people printed their own t-shirts, but they were nice enough. They said, Sabrina, you need to do something, a hoodie, a t-shirt. And I'm like, oh, I know I have ideas and woo. But I not only hadn't had the time, but that same viciousness. They're like, how dare you? And I'm like, well, but it's a t-shirt. It says W band blockchain. It doesn't say go to synergy.com.
Right.
So then in our coffee mugs, do I
Yeah,
have to
we
put
got 'em.
Come on.
people's names here? Oh,
We
you
got
got
'em.
the W band radar
We're
ones.
wearing them.
Cool.
Yep. We
But
wore them
peop-
today.
Yep, people wanted their name on stuff. They wanted their name on the hoodie or on their coffee mug because we do coffees in the morning like normal people before education, white paper
Yeah.
after white paper after video. And so I want y'all to know that are still complaining that, which shocked me. I'm like, okay, 3 years of free education. It's a coffee mug. So guess what? You are put on notice, waggle finger time. They took a poll in the Telegram. They said, you keep complaining about our hoodies and our t-shirts. Coffee mugs are going to double in price every time.
Go get them. Yeah.
But they do.
Sabrina, you deserve to earn a living from this because you've basically given people like a free college education. I'm just saying. My husband's an engineer, and you have taught me more than some of the things he was taught in college. So,
Like you're teaching him.
yes, I'm teaching him things now, sending him links. I'm like, do you see what you're doing at work?
Yeah, Dawn is just a great example of like just informing people just in a direct but solid way. I am inspired by your communication with your husband and yeah.
Well, engineers often don't have a lot of extra time for continuing education. They're different than doctors that have to have it for on the floor, in the field experience. But when you're already working, a lot of times, if you're not able to keep up with certain updates until they force you into a training, which is
Yes.
rushed because you're focused on your job. And here I am,
Right.
I'm like, in a very matter of fact way, like we're talking now. Those were the people that privately emailed me and said, Sabrina, don't let the haters stop you. Please don't, because you're right. And I'm working a job, honey. I ain't got time. But you're doing great. And I know they pick on you, but they're lying and you know it. Keep going. And then the
Yes.
professors showed up. I said professors. And this was two and a half years ago. And same thing, Sabrina, I can't be out there. You're doing great. I see them picking on you. Don't let them tear you down. They've torn down everybody. Nobody lasted. And that was part of what one commenter said. It's like an emotional roller coaster. And I said, well, a hit dog gonna yell. And you keep attacking me with stupid crap. And this year they've switched out to attacking our people for reading. It's the same thing. They even got memes now. Somebody pissed off on the internet because Sabrina read out loud. And the reason I know, like your husband with his experience, oh, you're welcome. The reason that these engineers were thankful is because then they're in the field, they're on the floor, they're using the software. Then they could communicate. That tech metric PDF is worldwide, translated in over 10 languages because I kept it as simple as I could make it. It's physiological. We got to talk about it because you're under the skin. Everybody. Nobody.
I was having my husband print that tech PDF, the tech metric when he worked at Bosch, so that it would be in their printer system. So
Yes.
I'm like, I hope the next person that comes after you sees that machine. I want them to see what they're doing over there.
Leaving it in the printer, leaving it at coffee shops. Yes. Leaving it in just random places. We have people make stickers, like little ones, big ones. Like I said, they printed their own t-shirts in some places, but they waited for the other ones. I believe in people. And in spite of everything that happened to me, because of everything that happened to me and the people I met along the way who had already healed, and most of them were nurses. That was my experience in healing touch and therapeutic touch, etc. I'm a crystal healer. I like morphology. I'm good. Just vibration. Music, hands off, good to go. But that's healing touch or therapeutic touch as well. It's a hands off. It's a biofield concurrence approach. Okay. It's measurable, etc. I won't get off on that tangent. But the point is that those are the ladies I learned from. And they snuck me into places when I was 16 and 17 that I was too young for, like bookstores for a healing touch conference type of thing. So all of these people who've been industrious in our community, it's them. I am not on the tactic. I am not on the
Right.
Substack, but you'll see me there because of real people who are already teachers. And all they needed was this. They're like, I told you that's what it was. I told you it was physiological. Don't you be telling me no more that I'm crazy, crazy like Cambridge. End of discussion,
Yeah.
or maybe the beginning. And if it was a different kind of person that wasn't combative towards them, they're like, you can do it too. And everybody, every age, they're like, whoa, that's what that is. Cognitive neurology. They're using it with companies. Why can't we talk about it? It's our body. And I want that discount on my internet service because you won't give me the remote, you know? So I think that for people like your husband, I hope it translates to going forward for whatever we can do with mitigation, because we're still in a precarious position with that. But Dawn, I would love for you to explain, or maybe talk a little more about some of the most common Sabrina myths, if you ladies don't mind. I think that might be a little bit funny and kind of
Oh
helpful.
yeah,
Like
you
about
go. Because yeah,
the
you'd probably have more than I.
well,
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, everybody was saying you were a witch. The witch, Sabrina the witch. When the bookstore guy
Yep.
got on the Wayback Machine and found your website and tried to tell everyone that you were brainwashing and you were putting spells on people. You were a spellcaster.
Oh my goodness,
1 second before
that's a
you
good one.
continue. Out of over 1,000 files, he chose the only file that wasn't mine. All you had to do is open it. It belonged to some rando group that I cussed out in email back then and said, what are you doing? You're trying to control and manipulate people. That's rude. So I showed our channel 1, 2, 3 times. I said that was there for my meditation class as an example of do not do this. It is rude. And I also had, and he didn't show that one, the Sylvan group and some of their, what they were encouraging parents to take their children to for neurological programming. And I'm like, hey, that's your neurology, waggle finger time. So that's what he did. He completely misrepresented the one file that he could find out of 1,000.
Unbelievable.
And it's such a waste of time because what do I get chewed out for all the time? Oh, you're so stupid. You believe in God. You're dumb. You're not spiritual enough. They're logging into you. And then same people will turn right around. She's a witch. So which is it? Like, can you people, they can't even get their story straight. So continue. What else we got?
And let's see, there's another one they said there. I've heard that you're mentally unwell. That one always
Oh,
goes around people. That's the big one, which anyone can listen to you. I mean, you sound very mentally stable, very, very. And then
Yeah.
another one. What they say? There's one other one they always say. Oh, that you are the COINTEL.
yes, I've heard that.
You're actually part of the COINTEL.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two that are the most sad to me because I've been disabled for 20 years and by law because of I have a private insurance company for that disability. I was actually disabled by the state of Wisconsin. So I am investigated every few years, all those years by both the federal on the government and private for this insurance company, so twice. And in 2016 was the last review for Social Security. Because of how many years I'd already been permanently disabled means lifelong. Okay. And that's what they did. I was never temporarily disabled. I was permanently disabled when I was 26 years old. So I did a lot of therapy. I did a lot of work. I've never been incarcerated. I've never been arrested. I've never been whatever those codes are for going crazy in public. I've never been committed. I've never been put in a facility, whether outreach, rehab, none of that. Zero. So people who are out there using their title like doctor or psychoanalyst, they need to be careful because we have cyberbullying laws in the United States. When you go out and tell somebody they're crazy online, that's cyberbullying. And the reason is because it's not permissible in a court of law to use somebody's videos or tactics. You have to call the police for a wellness check and involve the appropriate authorities. And I thought everybody knew that who's an adult. Nope. So they continued, and I've warned them, you better be careful because this is illegal. You're committing defamation very specifically using your profession, waggle finger time, because I'm a doctor. Okay, but you haven't seen my medical records and you've never seen me. You're basing your opinion on my videos. And here's what they do. They pick the videos where I'm passionate. I've been talking about something for 2.5 hours, and I'm just talking to the audience because we're all like, man, this is some shit. And they take that and then they say, look at her. She's so nuts. Oh my God. And any normal person that comes across me, normal people, they're like, yeah, but she's been talking for 2 hours like that. And she's consistent. Let's talk neuroplasticity and neural networks with cognitive neurology. No, I'm a doctor. I know she's mentally unwell because she's animated and she's no, you don't know. And professionally, you definitely don't. And in a court of law, you absolutely don't. You have no standing, and I can sue you because you're using my name. You're not saying maybe. You're not saying allegedly.
Yep.
You're putting on your white coat and you're saying with your profession that by watching my videos, you've assessed my mental health. That is cyberbullying. It is fully defamation and it is fully illegal. So why haven't I sued them yet? Because you know they got away with it and big time, and they wouldn't quit until I threatened them, all of you, waggle finger. I said, I will find an attorney because I ain't made of money. And that's why I've never went after anybody. But it is a cease and desist. I just don't have anybody on retainer because I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But if I could, there'd be major trouble for these people because they know better. You're not supposed to use somebody's name and go online and put your face on it and be like, Dr. Rubble is crazy. I know. I've watched Dr. Rubble's videos and he got loud and then he got soft. He's a nutcase. Based on his videos? What, do you have anything else? No, but I know I'm a doctor. Okay, but you don't have physical records, a blood draw, a psychological workup, a history, a medical history. That's what a court of law does. They will look at you and say that, and then the case will be flipped on you. But you used her name and you posted over 30 videos telling your audience or whoever you're talking to that she's a nut job. She's mentally unwell. So for those of you who've been posting that on the Facebook, something else you should know. There's not a human sitting there that takes those cyberbullying comments in, because this is about protecting teenagers. These are laws that have been on the books, I think, since about 2016. Because you remember the Slender Man incident, the bullying to make the guy kill himself, the girl's boyfriend, stuff like that. There are laws on the books for this. So the AI scrapes every comment you make where you use my name or you leave it under my video and you typed in mentally unwell with your name as a doctor. That's all categorized in semantic AI. You think the DoD doesn't have that? Let me tell you why they do. So my parents had cosmic clearance with my mother, which is international TSSCI. That's top secret and compartmentalization both. And I just showed on the channel, it steps up to special access projects, which is essentially when you hit the roof of Black projects. The rest of them, the classifications, nobody knows because they're classified. But my dad was TSSCI with signals intelligence, worldwide radar in the 1969 to 1976, I think, or 4. So because of those clearances, and I'm their only child, and the testing they did, I'm watched all the time. And this is the second part of what you said. COINTEL counterintelligence has embedded clearances or clandestine clearances that are handled by the Irregular Warfare Directorate, Special Operations, Strategic Command. When you're part of signals intelligence and you have a child, if you are a military family and you have children, your agency, your divisions also are watching by the databases. They're called relational databases. It's just natural. It's part of biomedical. It's just how it's engineered. Okay. So for me, the Central Intelligence Agency, they're way down here and they work with all these different agencies, and embedded in their agency heads who tell the other ones what to do. at the CIA, those are the people that work with DIA, NRO, whatever, people like my parents. So my parents were never that low level because of their parents. My dad's
Wow.
dad, my grandpa, was Fort Meade Station 1, World War II Marine Corps Boeing Vertol project. And so I never saw the clowns. If you want to call me a Fed or a Fred, good fucking luck. I cuss them out all the time. And I wish, but if you did, let's say you're like, no, I'm convinced. Well, then, and this is what I did with it. I said, then put me in the right category so you can learn something. My family is all NSA, all of them. NSA is up here. NSA are the listening ears on the clown agencies they watch. They're above your clowns. Fucking learn. If you're going to do that, I don't work for nobody. They've harassed me. They've tried to murder me. I tell the stupid internet. That's what I call it, because people don't bother to learn. These are divisions. These are engineered systems for something everybody knows, which is clearances. You can't share the same information with everybody. Those are jobs. And those are the jobs my parents held. So that's why I get so honk about it, because I understand the divisions and how they separate, what they do and why. And we're going to be, when this is done, I'm going live later today to talk about the next clearance allocation for psychological operations. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of them using their plausible deniability that is bullshit just to keep people from reading the diagram, because that's all they're doing, because that's all I talk about.
And it did,
Yeah, it's
because
ridiculous.
they wait, and they'll like wait to go in the comments section, or they join like private groups that they have and stuff, detox groups and stuff, and then they'll use those places to say things. But they wait till you get a good momentum going, and then they'll come in and say something, and then there's inevitably that one person that was already on the fence about you, so they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I thought, okay, well, thank you for saying something, because I wasn't sure, and now I know. And it's like, that's what they do.
It's in their manuals. Yeah, they're supposed to do that. They come in specifically to seed doubt in order to turn the rest of the audience going, oh, yeah, me
Yeah.
too. That's just behaviorism. And they're taught to do that. I mean, they're paid to do that. It is their job. These are jobs as well. But here's what you need to understand out there. These people that keep misrepresenting me, you got to feel bad for them. They make a piddly little $200,000 a year with companies like Booz Allen. They're barely getting by with their paycheck. And their whole job is to sit there on the keyboard 24/7, fucking with you and running bots so that you can't read a diagram. So you got to feel bad for them. That's a tough job.
Yeah. Sad. Wow.
Gosh. Oh God, I've had plenty of experience with that.
And for people like you too, or Corinna or others posting on the Facebook, they do the same thing instead of me. Now they're doing it to all of you. TalkTick, Substack, that they're following the people that are doing their own thing now, kind of like y'all here, only if it's documents or not, it's still the same. Oh, you're a cult member. You said W-ban. And again, we're all like, so did Cambridge and Oxford and universities worldwide. Like, what is your problem? W-ban's antiquated. We use digital twins, and they get mad because instead of saying Sabrina Wallace said, they're like, no, man, the IEEE said, I know what it is. It's right there. I use it with my wireless earbuds. Can you stop acting like a weirdo? And that's what was needed. But the only way to get there was to embolden and educate with empathy, because they were telling everybody, you're stupid. It doesn't exist. Well, that's neural networks. That's verbal abuse, gaslighting. They seem to love it because they're all going to work. And I said, hey, we need to communicate, because drone warfare, I don't know what you mean. Is nanowire wireless? That's why I made fun of certain phrases to try to help people break it up and go, oh, they really are. Yeah, it's a job. And if you're going to go out there and talk about put your wearable on because we love you, then talk about the HOW. So when Non-Vaxxer found the Mine Your Crypto with Your Heartbeat link, the company, I'm like, they tell you how. It says Fitbit. And that way people, exactly. You laugh a little bit. You're like, oh, okay, it's no big deal. Body's electrical. Well, duh. And off you go. Unless you're dealing with you know who, you know where, then the heart is made of Jell-O. Right. And any of you who support that person, you need to understand that he went after other people to tell them their body is not electrical. That is asinine. And during drone warfare, it is dangerous. Every human is electrical. And further back to the religion thing, quick, I don't care what you believe in. Are you human? Are you breathing? You're electrical. Then you deserve to know. You also deserve respect for whatever it is that you believe in. Because I got to tell you, my liver is going to exist, whether I'm a Buddhist, an Abrahamic faith, a Wiccan, a Druid. You fill it in, the things you people are obsessed with the hand signs and the gematria, okay? Whatever it is, come Alfredo. I started singing recently, oh, come Alfredo. Whatever it is, you're still human. You matter.
Yeah.
And I thought that would translate. I'm like, everybody connected. It's a biosphere. No, not me. I have a magic book. The DOD left me out. I have never seen such toddler behavior in adults as I've seen the last 2 years. Can you read the diagram? No, I can't. The diagram's going to jump off the page and hit me. And you wonder why. Like right now, here they come. I'm in my white coat. Do you see what I'm talking about? She's mentally unwell. Oh, you've heard of humor before? It's called making a joke because you, waggle finger time, are being fucking crazy. Okay. And you want me to sit here and justify your behavior because you're only making 200 grand a year sitting on the keyboard fucking with people in the internet chat. Do you need a side hustle?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so silly, though.
I could use a side hustle. Dang, I could use an
No
extra
kidding,
200 grand.
right?
Holy
Yeah.
smokes!
Right. If people understood that these keyboard warriors, she's nuts. That's not a diagram. Yeah, we know. Santa Claus and the stork run the internet paying off the tooth fairy with you people. So 200 grand. Most people can't find a side hustle for that kind of money.
No
where
way.
all you have to do is sit online at home all day, and that's them. You can look it up. Signature Reduction Force Jobs, DOW.
Everybody got that?
That's sad. That's sad. They make more than my husband, who has to go work a 12-hour shift. And
right, but think about what they're doing. They're helping spy on the American public, and they're running. I got, like I said, another definition: perception management operations, information operations, psychological operations, military information support operations, and now we got another one. And thank you, Colin. I bet you're over there somewhere. Thank you for that. And this is what they do. And they're the clowns. That's called counterintelligence for real. They are the ones whose job it is to make sure you're not interrupting the business of our crypto czar and our blockchain healthcare 4.0. That's what they're doing. They're not there telling you that because they love you.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's so scary. They're telling you that because they don't want you to be educated. You are a civilian. You are a citizen of our nation, leaving out this whole ridiculousness with deportation. You are living here. You live here. You have a home. You have a job, or maybe you just have family with some other family working a job and your job is at home. Whatever. You live here. That means the drone be looking for you too. That means everyone deserves to know. Not this. And so about a year ago, they ran out on that. But yeah, that's what they do. It's big money. Big money. And then don't forget the side hustle with the blue box hackers, the radio frequency engineers. What field are you near with your 4 centimeter, not enough room for the Holy Ghost at the Catholic dance, near field channel? Oh, it's a unified field theory. The precious babies are so stupid. I mean, I can't believe it. So I'm going along. You're a radio frequency engineer. You've known about the radar, like a radar detector, 80s and 90s. Nope. I have no idea what you're talking about. You know what they said on our channel 2 years ago? The radio frequency engineers. They said, oh, the IEEE, that's just a Reddit group. That's not real.
Wow.
Yeah. So they make 30 grand on a jump drive of your biofield electron brain connectome 802.15.4, and it goes right on their phone. And that's a big side hustle. Like I mentioned, you could make $30,000 on one jump drive over a weekend. Dude, that's good money.
Yeah. Well, it all
Can you
made so
still
much.
hear me? I had to plug my
Yeah.
phone in. Okay.
Yeah, you sound fine.
And you look
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes, you do. What was I going to say? I was going to say, yeah, just this is kind of going to not step away from that, but just the information that you shared about the biofield really kind of was like a Tetris for me. Like everything in my world and that I'd experienced in the medical system with my kids and personally with all the crap and crazy stuff I went through, because I feel like I ran really far into the beast system. Like when I listened to you talking about, just having this, and Dawn, you too, this solid intuition. I almost feel like I'm here to represent someone that kind of completely got cut off from that and really got lost in the machine. And what a I just powerful gift it is for me to understand, it's the biofield. Oh, now all those times that I overrode my intuition and did what the beast system, or however you want to call it, said to do, and I felt something inside with it, I had to overlook that. And for years and years, until it was almost so much that I didn't have a conscience. It was on SSRIs as a mom. And it pisses me off to no end that, a mom that's trying to raise kids with a disability, didn't have access to any of that information, was basically preyed upon, given medications. No one took the trauma of raising kids with disabilities seriously. It's like, so all that to say is you've given me just such a beautiful gift with understanding the biofield and how that just kind of plays into everything. So thank you.
There's a lot to be said there, Jill, for like you said, you end up isolated and alone when your children have learning disabilities, autism, any sort of medical challenges, even diabetes, whatever it might be. Your children are not in the normal zone, so your
Right.
experiences change. You interact with different types of doctors, teachers, and professionals. On top of that, as you said, the SSRIs or all the different things just get through the day because it all falls on you, all of it. And they just keep running you through the hamster wheels of these specialists, these people, and there's often no other discussions, which again, you're already isolated, you're super busy. Yeah, where's that imaginary free time, please? And your children, not yours specifically, but just in general for people, the brain chemistry is different, neurology, cognitive neurology. So they're having different ways that they learn because the brain naturally learns to use other neural networks that are available versus the neural networks that are
Right.
challenged. And so then you're like, well, wait, I'm having a telepathic communication with my child? Well, probably, because just like when a blind person, if you've had your sight and you lose it, one of the first things that happens is your audio cortex becomes very strong. You hear a lot better usually than other people. Those are neural networks because your brain is compensating for the loss of the connectivity of your eyeballs. In the same way, children with learning disabilities, they have various different ways that they
Yes.
are unique to that learning experience. So, where's the time or the support to learn your child so that you can invoke the real heart fire they have in life and they have a better life experience? Now, take these pills and we're back and we're going and we're visiting and we're injecting and we're surgeries
Exactly.
and it's just a conversation. Can we please have a conversation? No,
No.
that's where the isolation locks in. And then you're already going, hey, God, it's me again. you know? And so I'm really grateful for all the moms and yourselves included, but Jill, with you, and I haven't talked about this much, but I've had some communication with the moms of autistic children who are very telepathic naturally, who kind of like my 16-year-old mom. Why am I dreaming of a Raytheon? Who's Raytheon and what's a matrix CID tag? And there's just been some conversation, and to preserve privacy, I'd like to leave it there. But that's because of cognitive neurology with cognitive warfare. So I'm grateful for you because you're a hero or heroine rather for those folks as well. Because what you did was you're like, hey, biofield. And then you had a couple shorts on the X where you were just in your car or wherever you were talking about this is tough and these different things. And those same people, they said that was helpful because I thought it's me, I'm by myself. No, you're not alone. There's a ton of people, but we're all isolated like little islands. Because as soon as a white coat shows up, everybody goes down to their knees and says, you know so much more than me. You are so much smarter than me. And
I got
no,
sick of that.
no.
I was like Dr. Worship, putting them on. I just saw these things happening, and I'm like, no. I mean, my kids know stuff. I mean, they're valid. They want to put them in see them through a lens. You know, when you bring them in for their appointments, and you explain that really well. They don't want to think that they have intelligence that's over here, that they have this biofield, and maybe they're over up here in it. Like, yeah, I see it when you said that. Yep. I always knew there was more, and I felt, yes, thank you for, like, I just felt like it's had to spout out from somewhere. Like, what are we doing here? You know, is anybody else having a hard time with this bullshit?
A lot of it came from you, though, around to me, that from watching you putting, like you said,
thank you,
blocks together, they became more emboldened and courageous with their own world, and it got a lot better for them because they were teaching piloerection to their children and different things we've talked about with telepathy. Yes. I have the empathy PDF out there for the cognitive neurology side, so that again, it's physiological. And who doesn't want stem cells for healing and pain relief, right? And what types of children don't like music and grooving to the tunes? Plus, you're getting more exercise at any age. Woohoo! These are all positive benefits for your immune system. And from there, you'll figure it out. You can read a diagram with the help of the ladies like you two who are courageous enough to speak from your own heart fire. And then others knew they weren't alone. And they also were not the only ones, Jill, putting those blocks together. They were so excited. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm thrilled that somebody finally heard, because, you know, I did that. I did that whole other podcast. I felt like I was banging my head against the wall, you know, because I didn't understand how to articulate the biofield. I did not have that language. I knew the energetics of the condition had as much or more impact than this rigid, like, studies on pharmaceuticals that may help in 25 years. And, you know, I can see now where the precision medicine is going to come in, and it's going to be a hard grab. A lot of people are just going to
put it on me. Yep.
So, yeah, to kind of segue away from that into, I can see it coming, or it's here. And how for like a mom that's got a kid that's nonverbal that still is in diapers, and there's something that's going to be able to, you know, hook him up and help him at home. You know, they've created the perfect
environment.
So, yeah, it's a heartache.
Seniors too.
Yep.
And I made the comment on a video. I'm not sure where I put it. Might not be loaded yet, but I think so. And I said, maybe it was the live yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, what are the chances that they do the convid, everybody's sick, sore, tired, long COVID, and here it comes. Welcome to bioelectronic medicine. Slap that wearable on. You'll feel better in 48 hours. Cure your cancer, make it, you know, even out your glucose, vagal nerve stimulator. And why would they be afraid of it? How many years on the Facebook I've been showing Apollo Neuro, the Mendy, and the vagal nerve stimulators like the Pulsetto, and everybody going, yeah, but it's so magical. No, they're using your own neurons because you can't. Those of us who can do biofield practice, we can feel our own somatoform. This is neurology. They're still telling you it's spiritual. That's because they're making money on your ignorance. And it's not your fault that you are ignorant unless you ignore the diagram.
I have one question I want to ask you, Sabrina. My children all have horrible, horrible dreams at night. They used to call them what, night terrors or whatever. And like my daughters for years wouldn't tell me about their dreams, but now that they're older, they, like my one daughter says every night she dreams and somebody in our family dies. And like those are the type of dreams that my kids have over and over and over. Wow. Is this something that's being done specifically?
Oh,
Would
Dawn,
you
you
think?
always ask the easy questions.
Because like I know it's always been my thing too. Like I'm always put through really traumatic things in my real life. And then
Mhm.
now I'm seeing it with my children.
So this is my opinion. I am not a medical physician of any kind. Thank you, Jesus. So therefore, it's just an opinion. But MIT has advertising in your dreams with companies. We have neuro advertising. They also use the human brain states when you are asleep for several different semantic, AI, ontology for the digital twin databases. And that's to advertise to you in your dreams, like TV commercials you can't can escape even by going to sleep. Yes, this is where our neurodata laws that have been happening in Colorado and California come in, because these are companies who've already been sold access to your neurons. So the reason that certain brains dream lucid dreams rather than regular dreams all has to do with the electricity of the brain, as well as the chemicals you're taking in your diet, in your lymphatic. Okay, while you're sleeping, how much oxygen are you getting? How much biophotonic cerebral readable pressure do you have on your head by the position you're laying in? It all makes a difference to where the neural networks are firing during those different brain states. And they're watching it all.
There it
There
is.
she goes again.
Dawn?
The sound's gone.
Yeah, you like went out again. Do you want me to? Do you want to go out and come back in? Are you there? I hear you. This is how we roll. We're gonna get her back.
You can't have her, Spectrum. She's ours.
That's right. Spectrum came and took her. It's the guy. He came back.
Thank you, 11th Star. If any of you
Yes.
are in the chat and can drop a link, because we've talked about this a few times. Neuro advertising in your dreams, MIT. I don't think she knows.
John? All right. I'm going to text her. Where's my phone?
I'm going to be tacky like Weird Al and light my cigarette now. Okay.
Go for it. I'm going to take a drink of my Dunkin' Donuts here. Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I know. It's really bad. It's probably full of.
There's nano in everything. They've gotten into everything.
Yeah, how do you deal with that? With you're in as a mom, and
There's no sound.
there's no sound. I'm going to take you out and come back in, okay? Because we can hear you. Here, let me just. Sorry, guys. We'll be back. Come back. I'm just texting. Okay. All right. I'm going to take her out. Yeah.
Okay. So about that
go ahead.
lucid dreaming. The reason that, like, when Dawn's children having more lucid dreams similar to herself, etc. Yeah. Welcome back to your genetics. And those who already lucid dream, like my daughter, same thing. The system is interacting for all those neuro advertising reasons and testing your cognitive microtubule neural network response so that they can beam their commercials into your head. So you can't even get away from them in your sleep. That is a fact.
That's unbelievable. I mean, it's
no sound
obviously
still.
No sound. We can hear you. Let me try. Huh.
What happens
can't
if
hear
you
us?
wake up during...
Sorry.
Thank you, Shell.
I
So
can't
in
hear
the-
anything.
Oh,
I'm putting it up. You
Thanks,
can't hear?
Jill.
Do you want to take me back out, Jill?
Yep, I'll take you out. Try it again.
Because the
Sorry, Sabrina. You're just
No, that's okay. That's okay. Now, what Shell says here about what
Yeah.
happens if you wake up during the dream or not, or you're close to waking and kick their ass. My daughter can do that. Other people can do that, you bet. And sleep with an amethyst in water, dump the water out every morning next to their head, do different things to refract signal in their bedroom, sleep with one of those caps on. There's all sorts of things that you can try, and they will help maybe for a while. But the number one most powerful thing that you can do to kick them out of your dreams and when that's happening is practice with your biofield. Why? Because the bioelectricity of shu is a kinetic effect of your neurons that's automatic because you're practicing that, and your body learns that certain vibrations are not welcome. Then you go to sleep, and those machines that don't sleep, they come in and your body automatically is shielded even when you're sleeping. Well, you bet, because that's the way that you've been practicing. So that's why it's important that you can feel somatoform parietal lobe. It's all connectivity with these neural networks. And the wiring diagram of the brain is called the connectome. I said wiring diagram of your brain. And they're watching that on the Wi-Fi. That's all they need.
That's just awful.
It's their new business model for their new GDP. Global domestic product. That would be you and me, because we are the 6G.
Right. Right. Yeah, that is wow. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Dawn. She has no sound period. So hopefully she'll come back.
Oh.
Yeah. I know. Oh, here she comes. She's gonna come back. Add to stage. Okay, here she
Thank
comes.
you, 11th star.
I have no sound. You guys finish up. I'm gonna just go.
Can you
off
listen?
now.
Can you listen on another
They've got
device?
me all done. Just take me out and you guys finish up, okay, Joe?
That sucks.
It's just me and you now.
No, I know. That's
Waggle finger time, Spectrum.
yeah. Yeah, well, I won't keep you here too much longer, Sabrina. I did want my question was kind of like, how do you get through with the? I know you raise quail, and like, how do you navigate the nano? Maybe I'll try her again. She's still ooh, still trying to come around.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to do it. I mean, I am honored and thrilled to talk to you by myself. I feel like Dawn has the history here, and probably has some more questions. So I really would love it if she came back on. But I'm going to keep talking for a little bit and give everybody here a little bit more mom chat.
For those in the chat providing advice for taking back control while still in the dream, as well as through to waking up, thank you. Because you're going to have to learn your biofield, your body, and your abilities are your bioelectricity and your neurons. What are abilities? Precognition, empathy, telepathy, telekinetics, clairvoyance. That's bioelectricity and neural networks that are body-wide. Neurology, neuroscience, or else Synchron, Neuralink, and all these companies couldn't sell you shit. Because the company is not doing it. They're using algorithms to either perturbate your cells or suppress your cells. So you're forced to buy the service, it's called as a service, from the company to use your own neurons. So thank you to those of you in the chat giving some advice. Especially you, Shell, ass kicker extraordinaire.
Yeah, the chat has been quite involved the whole time. So I'm trying to post as many of the comments as I can, but I'm missing some of them, and it distracts me a little from the conversation. So I'm also trying to, be a podcaster here.
So what you said about how do I navigate the
yeah.
Okay, hang on to that commenter you just had up there. Oh yeah, they put all sorts of stuff in your teeth in the 80s, the 90s. The whole thing with dentistry is one big nightmare to get into your cranial nerves. usually with a remote control that's older. I'm sorry, it just, the business has upgraded. They're using the nano. So that brings us now into the nano. It's in everything: the air, the water, the soil, the food, and um, there's cleansing that you can do. And I've often said, again, I'm not a medical professional. I don't wear a white coat. Thank you, Jesus. But you out there, whoever you are, if you cleanse heavy metals in an appropriate way for your diet, etc., that really doesn't hurt anybody, because we've had so many of those for so long. But when you cleanse constantly, you destabilize your body's homeostasis cellularly. You can't do it forever. Your body has to have time to catch up. So that's why biofield practice and generating stem cells makes such a huge difference, because those are my own stem cells. Then breath work, control of your breath for the different systems of the body. And as I said, I drink a lot of water.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My phone just went haywire and the whole thing shut down. It put me in a diagnostic repair mode on my phone.
Oh shit.
I had to move. I came down in my kitchen. I'll just listen in. Sorry, guys.
No, sorry.
Spectrum, we see you.
That's crazy.
I knew that my phone would probably do something crazy like that.
Well, you're back.
So that's how I get through it. And I tell people to do what's best for your environment. And what about you, Jill? What do you do to get through it? Because you ain't ripping their wireless earbuds away from them.
I know, and that's funny that you mentioned the wireless earbuds, because I'm a runner. I think that's one thing that has like been the glue for me for all these years is I run, and it really helps me. Now I understand. I believe it helps me kind of regulate or find some kind of biofield homeostasis. So I do like to break a sweat, and I eat pretty healthy, but I am not perfect. I try to just balance it, Sabrina, do what I can. I can't be too extreme at anything. I have a whole family, and I went really like hardcore vegan for a while, and I was like eating urine therapy, hardcore vegan. I was just so frustrated with the fact that everything was toxic, that I was just basically living on air and grapefruit for a while, and it just didn't work. I mean, I didn't have any energy. Didn't work for me. I know some people can make those kinds of things work, so I've had to balance like just the practical aspects of it with all the other people in my house too. So
that's the important component. It's Dawn. It's kind of hard to hear because
okay, sorry. Whoops.
So what you said about balance is key with the other people in your home. The main signals are coming from the other bodies. So even if you're not eating it, they are. If you're not using it, they are, etc. So in the load balancing too, that's why I tell people you need you and you need your environment, and you've got to be able to balance that energy with boundaries, breath, and whatever you can do in your home with concurrence to work together, because your epigenetics has a stronger magnetic pull than a lot of different things. And your diet, of course, is crucial. But if you have no energy and you're always recycling your cells and on a new cleanse, I mean, we all know about crash dieting, don't we? The disturbing the body's homeostasis. Okay. So all these cleansing products, as you know, all have nano sensors attached to them for the FDA and the FCC, for the industrial Internet of Medical things. They don't tell you that. They tell you, oh yeah, you can just cleanse, this product will fix it. That is completely inaccurate by our Healthcare 4.0.
Wow.
So the answer is balance with the people you live with. Well, gosh darn, isn't that what we're doing anyway? I have a 20-year-old who's about to turn 21 down the hall. And my other one will be 22 this coming year and is out of the house. I cannot walk around with these crazy people screaming about the end of days and all that. They have a future. Okay. Additionally, it's up to me to understand their perspective of what are they looking at, and then educate where I feel it's uplift, not doom scrolling, or I'm in there fighting in the comments all day, stressed out, carrying that into dinner. No. I said no. because I want to be with my family and I want to talk
Yes.
to them where they are and what they're going through. And I want them to feel good about their projects and different experiences. So it is a balance. It's also why when you bring up all the people that say, yeah, we'll just all go live down by the river in our sackcloth. Oh, because that's realistic. And you
Yeah.
want to talk about sounding crazy. Go tell that
Yeah.
to the 21-year-old. Okay.
Yeah. And that's something that you really have helped me with. You know, we can't all just quit our jobs and be farmers. Like I've said, we've got to.
It's no,
And
it's
that
not realistic.
extreme, yeah, that extreme that like through COVID, there, you know, I followed a lot of the truth there. And I learned so much. I learned about like gardening, and like I educated myself on more natural ways of doing things. But there was always this carrot out there that I could never get to. You know, I'm not going to be able to
Churn
even
your
with
own butter.
thank you. Yeah, I ain't
Instantly
turning no
become
butter.
Amish. Where's that cow I ordered in the front yard? And where's my sackcloth? And by the
Yeah,
way, you're not Christian enough. You get rid of everything in your house except a single cross on the wall. They'll still yell at you. Then they'll tell you that it's something else, that you're not Christian enough or you're not Buddhist enough. But usually it's the Abrahamic ones that get upset here in the
yeah,
States, at least. But it's still the same thing. If you don't have balance with the people you live with, which is why I always say the people in your foxhole are the most important folks.
Mhm.
And when it comes time to shield, just like if you were to walk outside right now and get into a pen with a horse or a bull, you're going to feel it. And it squeals in the air. When the targeting systems start to do the oscillation, you can physically audibly hear it. If you've ever had sensitive ears to hear high frequency, and I have very sensitive ears, but my husband, he doesn't necessarily have that sensitivity, but this year he's been able to hear it consistently. He's like, wow, that's really loud. Yeah, because they're adding more and
yeah,
more networks. Yeah.
I can hear it.
Mhm.
Yeah, more and more. I mean, yeah, thanks for
So
that.
you just do your best to block and keep up your immune system, hone your skills, teach your children skills. No one is going to love them like you. You are their parent, or you are their uncle or aunt or grandma. No one will love them like you do. Make it count. Read out loud. Look at what they're interested in and adapt it to something you can teach them. That's what we work on the channel. You know this, but that's important
Yeah,
because they don't want people to be able to use their own neurons. It's called cognitive diminishment. It has been sociologically engineered and financially incentivized. You're not hallucinating. It's built that way. As Melania said, K through 12 will be watched in the classroom with a wearable in which they're watching, the teacher is watching under their skin, their neurons. Because no adults could get up and say, get out from under our skin for 30 years of development. Now they're putting it in the schools and they're just as proud as they can be. And everybody just standing around talking about things that mean absolutely nothing to the future. The youth are watching this. They don't want this system, Jill. My daughter has been telling me more and more worldwide, they're
really.
terrified.
Yeah,
The reason they're terrified, though, worldwide, is because their parents are the ones telling them, put that wearable on. Now that's the problem. But look at how many iPad babies, inappropriate exposure of children on social media, making money off their children, content creation, and everything that goes with it. So you mean to tell me that we couldn't talk about the system? We could just deploy it on everybody. And now the people who are genuinely, like, hey, I don't want this, are the same youth that have no choice. Do you want a job? You will be augmented and you will put that wearable on. So, again, my question is the same. Tell me what good it did to stall the adults who chose to read on our channel, who are parents, like the single dad up in Canada, who said, I don't want this for my children. Because our tax dollars paid those government people to harass our channel, innocent civilians, for reading a college textbook. That is a fact, not a maybe. Why would you do that if the intention for your healthcare 4.0 was for everybody's goodness? Because it's not. This is transhumanism, merging human with machine, biological to digital, convergence. Do you love your children? We all say, well, of course I do. Then it's market share time for you.
Yeah.
And you should be allowed to know that, you as a mom, as a dad,
Yeah.
or as a family member. It should be easy for you to be like, oh, okay. Whoa, wait, what do you mean you're going to put a wearable and watch their neurons? Like, wait, what? And if you don't understand, why don't you want to understand? Why are you so willing to hand over your child to a teacher? I mean, you know what we've had with that for how long now? Or these other people. And oh, they know better. They're experts in what? Because they certainly don't talk about the human anatomy that they're using to do all of this. And as a parent, you see my anger because I'm going, you're under her skin. That is my daughter. What the hell are you doing? And that's the other big thing. Well, how dare you be angry? Talk to me nicely. You're under people's skin with companies and you're selling it amongst one another. And you're leaving our children no choice. And I quote my daughter, because the adults lied, mama. Nobody will stand up for them. If they want a job, they do what they're told and they're scared because her friends noticed 17, 18, 20, okay, in that range, that after using the chat GPT and other things, they couldn't write the same way anymore. They couldn't create their poetry. My daughter is an artist. She's who made this. Okay.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and I don't say her name or none of that because it's private, but her friends are artists. Some of them are in college with art degrees, and they noticed themselves with the chat GPT. And that's when she has the Techmetric PDF or whatever, but they know, and they go to their parents and their parents say, get a job. And they're like, I don't want this system. And then they're told, well, if you're going to get this job, you have to use ChatGPT and all these AI programs. Where are the adults to stand in the way and say, we're going to talk about this and give people a choice? Nowhere, except on the Synergy channel and the Non-Vaxxer 420 library and Jill and Dodd's podcast. And now a few other folks in other places. And I'm hoping that there are more.
Yes.
Sorry, but for me, I'm like, yay, hallelujah. Because every single one of us as an adult who stands up and goes, it's a diagram, let's talk about this. It opens the door for parents and children to communicate more. And that's what they want to completely destroy. The biggest, one of the biggest badges of honor that you get in these tribalized communities is going no contact with your family. That gives you a badge of honor, and it's a trendy thing. And I'm not talking about legitimate toxic situations. I'm talking about the trendiness of no contact. Yeah, you do it. Woo! With zero intention of actually giving these children a foundation, people to talk to, support, zero intention. It's just sociological, okay? But that means that for us, parents and children, here on the channel and in general, we're working even harder because in that age range of 17 to like, let's say 25, they're watching all these adults lie, make money doing it. So you either say no or you're helping them do this. It's already deployed. So where we go from here, if we don't have education that is clear, they've won.
Yeah.
And I say no.
Thank you for saying no and teaching us and providing us with your lived experience in this. It's It's so valuable.
Yours too. And on that note, Jill, if I may humbly request, due to our technical issues as we close up here,
Yep.
two things. One, can we do a different show sometime where we can keep the dawn?
Yes, I know. I'm so upset about that. And hey, Dawn. Yeah, I would be here without
Well, I'm
you.
not upset. I'll tell you why. Spectrum, you just earned yourself a repeat.
That's right. We're going to come back on and do part 2. Yes, and thank you. What was it? Yeah, thank you so much. I actually have to go pee really, really bad. So I don't think. Yeah.
Well,
Thank
divinum
you.
auxilium maniat semper nobiscum, which is may the divine assistance be with us always. Gratias Deo, all thanks to God. And thank you very, very much, all of you out there, with your heart flare up and your courage. Biofield practices are en route because I recorded a few before I got here. And you'll see me again here. Thank you, Jill, for having me. Thank you, Donna. I love you too.
All
Take
right,
care.
end of the stream. That's it.